How we doing? How we feeling? How's life?
Life's great. To get to come back home to Central Illinois, to be able to come out here to the brand headquarters and to just see fans and people that have been a part of my racing journey over the years, and a lot of familiar faces, a lot of folks that I saw a lot of photos of young kids in photos that are now, grown adults from when my career started to where we are now. So really special and something that, when I'm done racing, I think these are the types of things that really are going to mean the most, right? Because I love what I do on the racetrack, and that's obviously super important, but just the support that I've had from the Springfield area and Central Illinois and just what we've been able to accomplish and having a company that's based out of here, it's really special.
Yeah, and what does it mean to bring Dale, Kelly, and Wyatt with you here today, all along with you?
Yeah, to see Dale Jr. and to see his sister Kelly and Wyatt, Kelly and LW's son, is somebody that obviously is doing a great job on the racetrack and promoting Brant professional agriculture as well. But then to see Dale, just hearing some of the stories of moments that fans have had with him over the course of his career and his time, and just to see his passion for the race team and how much he loves the relationships that we have with Brant. Those are things that are really special. And Rick Brandt's been a huge proponent of not only my career, but junior motorsports and the family atmosphere and really how it ties so well together with what they do here at Brandt. And I think having Dale and Kelly here is just an extension of that, right? And it just shows the commitment that all sides have to growing this race team and to keeping it flourishing like it has been.
Now, this season, you've been battling against a fellow teammate there at the top of the standings. Just talking about that perspective and your battle here with Connor.
Yeah, I mean, it's super unique when you have teammates that are capable of running up front. And right now, we're in a unique situation. We have all four of our Junior Motorsports Chevrolets that are capable of not only running good, but winning the race each and every week. And in some ways, that's great, right? Because you know that a Junior Motorsports car is got a shot at a win. But it's also disheartening when you show up and you think you've done everything right and you still get beat by a teammate. But I think that it's one of the things that I love is a lot of times in this sport, very rarely do you see all of the cars in a shop run well. It's just between parts and pieces and technology and driver styles. Very rarely do you hit it exactly perfect for everybody to kind of have what we consider that optimal, and we've been able to do that this year, and it's shown week in and week out. We're all battling up front, and we've rubbed some fenders a few times because of it, right? It's just natural when you got four cars in the top five every week. It's hard to not have that, but when you have finishes like we had at Daytona 1, 2, 3, just moments like those are a big deal. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think we have, as a company, the ability to put four cars in that final four for the championship round pretty easily, and that'd mean a lot to me, but I know it'd mean a lot to Dale and Kelly and everybody a part of Junior Motorsports also.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Xfinity Series getting to race at Gateway, and do you think your previous experience will help even though the cars are so different?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the folks down there at World Run Technology Raceway for a number of years. To get Xfinity Series back there, it means a lot to me. This is racing in the state of Illinois is important to me and our fan base. We have so many great local racers in this area, so many great dirt tracks and short tracks that are feeders to, obviously what we're doing. That's how I got my opportunity to race in the sport. And, the fans around here are passionate. They love the sport of auto racing as a whole. It doesn't matter if it's open wheels or stock cars. They're just race fans in general. And so to be able to make that happen and to get Gateway back on the schedule and to this year have two races in the state of Illinois, again next year it looks like also. So a lot of positives from my standpoint. I don't know that everybody else agrees with that, but my years of racing at Gateway. I love the racetrack. It's a really cool facility, very unique, very differently shaped than anywhere else we go. And I'm hopeful that having some experience there will pay dividends. But at the same time, it's one of those places that the driver and team that hit the setup just perfectly, they're going to have a lot of fun on the weekend. And if you miss it a little bit, you might be regretting some of your decisions. That's for sure.
Now, regular season coming to a close very soon. Playoffs about to begin. What's the mentality? What's the approach here at the end of the season?
It's interesting when I look at the playoffs. We feel like we've been locked into the playoffs for what seems to be a year already. It just, being able to win early in the season and to lock our way in, the anticipation of the playoffs always becomes difficult, right? It's you want them to get there, but you also know that you kind of need everything to kind of get to that point before you can do that. So, we have a lot of work to do. We feel like our team has been doing amazing, and the speed has been there, whether it be on the 7 car or any of our Chevrolets. We just have to be able to execute. We feel like we get down to the last 15 laps of a race, and it seems like the wheels are kind of falling off, especially this last month and a half or 2 months. So if we can clean those mistakes up, I think that we have a great shot to go back and at least have a shot at it in Phoenix, right? That final race is so difficult to be able to win that final race or to win the championship with just racing against those other 3 competitors. So, anybody can have a good race, but you can just as easily have a bad race in that final one. So we feel like we're doing all the right things. We just have to make sure that, we execute, and if we do that, we'll have a great shot at least going for another championship.
Yeah, not only getting back to Gateway this year, but also to Rockingham and then Chicagoland next year, as you mentioned. What does it mean to get back to tracks that NASCAR hasn't raced at for 7 years?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the schedule over the last number of years, and I feel like we've traded some races for other tracks. Some racetracks have gone off the schedule that I really truly love, and I'm disappointed to see them go. We've added some racetracks though that are equally as exciting for me, and I love to see them added. And I think that there's a lot of consistency in our schedule over the last number of years, but I think the fans have kind of asked for and really have been delivered on some of the changing of schedules. Next year we have Homestead as the finale instead of Phoenix. You mentioned Rockingham and Gateway and Chicagoland. There's a lot of cool things that have kind of transpired over time. San Diego next year for the street course. So a lot of cool stuff that's happening. But with change, there's always going to be a negative, right? You're always going to lose a racetrack that's somebody's favorite, or you're going to have a fan base that maybe feels like their part of the country didn't get the love that they deserve. So I think that NASCAR's got a tough job in that, and we have such passionate and great fans from all over the world that we're doing our best week in and week out to try to make sure that we're catering to everybody, and sometimes we miss it. So I think that over the course of the last few years we've had some really good additions, and I'm hopeful to see that those grow and flourish. And when fans show up, it makes the decisions the right decisions, and we know that we're doing the right thing.
And just 2 last questions from me. The first one being, as the defending champ, as you're entering the playoffs this year, are things different for you mentality-wise or approach-wise from last year to this year? Are you doing anything different? And how does it feel maybe that you have Phoenix at the end, knowing you've won it there, you've gone through it, you've experienced it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way that the last year ended with the championship and the race and just kind of how it all transpired, I think my 2025 has been significantly different as far as just my driving style, because I think sometimes you get caught up in, and we have to lead every lap, and you want to try to win the race, and you try to run up front early, and we're doing that now because we need the points of it. But when the playoffs start, I think Phoenix was a great example of, if you just put yourself in position at the end of the race when the checkered flag falls, anything's possible. And yeah, you obviously don't want mistakes, you don't want challenges throughout the course of a race, but I think it's really changed my focus of how to attack some of these playoff races and what that looks like. So I think we go into the playoffs with a different mentality. I think we go into the regular season with a different mentality of, hey, get ourselves to the checkered flag, whatever that looks like, and if we do that, we'll have a great shot at winning a championship.
The last one I just had was a message to fans, not only for coming to support you today, but also coming out for this weekend as well.
Well, I talked to the folks at Gateway, and they are extremely pleased with ticket sales. They're excited to see folks coming out to support it. And I told them that I feel like this area would support it heavily if we were able to put an Xfinity Series race on the schedule. So, I'm super appreciative of everybody that came out here today in Springfield. I talked to a lot of folks, whether it be on social media or here today, that are coming to the racetrack this weekend to support what we're doing, and it just means a lot. I think I've said it before, but Central Illinois has such amazing race fans. I argue we have the best race fans in the world, but everywhere feels that way. But to see the support that we've been able to have, and to do what we did today, and to see everybody coming out, and just to hear folks come to the racetrack, it means a lot, and something that I'm very proud of.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from Fox Illinois.